With 2020 finally coming to a close and a brand new year ahead of us, we're taking a look at the top 10 indie games coming out in 2021 that need to be on your radar. Hey guys, it's Cody with Indie Game Pulse, where we bring you the hottest indie games with the coolest memes. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel so that you can be sure not to miss another indie game countdown or review. I appreciate each of you that has already subscribed this year and chatted with me in the comments, and I'm looking forward to meeting even more indie game fans in 2021. Let's get into our top 10 games. We begin our list with Recompile, a visually impressive and intriguing tale of an artificial intelligence gaining consciousness. This 3D Metroidvania and platforming title has crafted a sprawling world known as the mainframe, through which you'll traverse and meet other programs or codes, which you can choose to assist or choose to avoid. Being a Metroidvania title, you would expect the story in Recompile to be rather linear, with abilities being unlocked in a progression to allow further abilities and narrative to play out, but Recompile is trying to change the game and become the first Metroidvania with many different and dynamic paths. Couple this with a mainframe world which they claim is fully hackable and exploitable to the point where you can even avoid obstacles or puzzles, and my mind is already blown. Recompile sounds like it will be rife with different playstyles and options for story paths, and I can't wait to see the final product when it releases for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X.
Slow ride, it's a slow ride. It's a slow ride, it's a slow ride. It's a slow ride, it's a slow ride.
At number 9, and a highly anticipated sequel to the acclaimed My Time at Portia, is My Time at Sandrock. Although it's only entering early access in March of 2021, with a full release slated for 2022, I wanted to make sure that this one is on everyone's radar. Coming to another post-apocalyptic town, you've been recruited as a builder to restore this wild town to its former glory. You'll accomplish this by gathering resources, farming, building, and upgrading your factory, as well as diving headfirst into a deep story filled with loads of side quests and new NPCs, as well as a few familiar faces if you've played My Time at Portia. Adventure and combat will still be plentiful as well as you explore the barren landscape, ancient relics, and dark dungeons in order to find that sweet, sweet loot. If you enjoy life sims or lighthearted open world adventures, then be sure to keep your eye out for My Time at Sandrock, entering early access March of next year, with a full release coming in 2022 for PC and all consoles. Next up, we have 12 Minutes, which stole the show at Gamescom in August when the developers announced their star-studded voice cast featuring James McAvoy, Daisy Ridley, and Willem Dafoe. The game is being published by Annapurna Interactive, who have a track record of putting out absolute bangers over the last 4 years, and 12 Minutes looks to be the next in line. It is a 3D top-down interactive story with a Groundhog Day twist. The story begins anew every, you guessed it, 12 minutes. A romantic evening at home is quickly turned upside down when a police detective breaks into your home, accusing you of murder and then beating you to death. You then wake up 12 minutes earlier, armed with the knowledge of what's to come, and you must figure out a way to change the cycle and break the loop. I love interesting and thoughtful games like this, and with the race against time aspect and a stellar cast, I really hope we get to play this one sooner rather than later. At number 7 on our list is a dark, pixel art Souls-like called Eldest Souls. This lovely game was featured in the Autumn Steam Game Festival, where I had a chance to play 30 or so minutes of the demo, and as someone who doesn't play many Souls-like games, it was difficult. But along with being difficult, it's also bleak, lonely, and incredibly intriguing and addictive. After I stopped playing, I kept thinking about it and wanting to go back. The story follows a lone knight on a quest to slay the gods and restore balance in a fallen world, with challenging boss fights and a leveling system that you can completely redo between fights. You can change your playstyle according to your needs at the time. Eldest Souls is also filled with great art and animation, as you can see in the trailer, and I think many of you will be looking forward to playing this when it comes to PC via Steam and Nintendo Switch. Up next, we have something just a little more tranquil. Allow me to introduce Book of Travels. Portrayed in a wonderful fairy tale style, this RPG is developed by Might and Delight, who describe the game as a TMO, or a tiny multiplayer online. By limiting the amount of players on each server, the developer hopes to create a more serene environment, still filled with opportunities and quests, but not filled with clans and guilds, just a few other wandering souls like yourself. And when you do come across other players, you'll only be able to communicate via symbols that you've learned through your personal experience. This reminds me a lot of the fun times I had trying to communicate with pulsing symbols in Journey, and it should be a unique challenge here as well. In Book of Travels, instead of focusing the character creation on allocating points to certain traits, like we see in so many RPGs, the game focuses on your personality and identity, meaning you can be anything from a laid-back campervan traveler to an uptight spinster who crafts magical potions in her attic. And beyond that, the leveling system is also immense, with over 300 abilities to master, which can in turn open up new quest experiences and interactions. This already sounds like a lot of content, but the team at Might and Delight have also stated their long-term intentions to keep Book of Travels fresh and exciting by adding new characters and expanding the world and storylines, and I am so excited to begin my journey, hopefully with some of you in mid-2021 when it comes to PC, Mac, and Linux. Now on to a game that we actually have a release date for, and something that I know many RTS and City Builder fans will already be aware of, and that is Stronghold Warlords. This RTS and base building sim from Firefly Studios looks to bring the Stronghold series back to its former glory, with their newest rendition being set in East Asia and spanning over a wide time period, beginning all the way back in 3rd century BC China, all the way up to the coming of Genghis Khan and the Mongol Empire. As the campaign progresses through time, new technologies and armed units will become available, including siege equipment and ballistics, and even a flaming ox, according to the press kit. Along with traditional RTS actions such as building an army and empire, this game will also allow you to recruit and command warlords, each with specific abilities and powers that you'll need to learn and master. As far as game modes go, it appears that there will be a co-op mode, and in tune with other modern RTS games, skirmish and multiplayer modes will also be present. If I'm being honest, I'm not a huge fan of the RTS genre, simply because of the time commitment they take not only to play, but to learn and master. Really, I think the last RTS I played was Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. But I dig the look and style of Stronghold Warlords and might just have to give this one a go. If you're a fan of the RTS genre, you will not want to miss Stronghold Warlords when it comes to PC via Steam on January 26th. If you've followed me for any amount of time, you'll know how much I adore the game Journey. and similar exploration-style games, and I think this may be the next big one. Follow Sable on her journey through vast deserts and landscapes littered with fallen ships and ancient ruins. You can travel by foot or hop on your Star Wars-esque hover bike, which by the way is customizable, probably as you discover more parts around the world. Sable is an open-world exploration game, so you can feel free to take your time and explore. There will be puzzles to solve as you learn more about the mysterious history here, but the developer has stated that they won't be essential, so you can also just walk around and gawk at the massive structures you find. You can also move by gliding in a cool red orb, which will definitely come in handy when trying to get to those hard-to-reach areas. Other nomads and creatures are also out there to be found, and you can try and communicate with them. I'm not sure how much of the game will revolve around meeting and working with other characters, but it definitely adds something fresh to the barren landscape. Also, if someone can tell me what this art style is called, that would be great, because it's really cool. We don't have a release date yet, other than sometime next year, but it will be available on PC.
Will she return to the nomadic life with her family? Or will she choose a different path for herself?
Moving into our top 3 indie games coming out next year, we begin with The Red Solstice 2: Survivors, a sci-fi real-time tactics battler. A full sequel to the original Red Solstice, which came out all the way back in 2015, the story follows humanity's last survivors defending themselves from an onslaught of alien or mutant beings. But obviously, the focus is much more on the gameplay. Red Solstice 2 is an 8-player squad-based game made of, get this, 8-player co-op. You can play with up to 7 friends in your squad as you fight to survive the swarms, or you can play solo as well. The co-op features in-game drop-ins, meaning that you don't have to wait for everyone in your party to be ready at the start, but they can just drop in wherever you are. Red Solstice 2 does have some RPG elements to it as well, with being able to capture the creatures you fight against and learn from them, while also upgrading your character and his combat suit. The only unfortunate part about the 8-player co-op is that this game will only be available on PC. No specific news on a release date yet, so keep your eyes peeled and I'll do my best to let you all know when I see it. And now for a game that should be coming out very, very soon on PC as well as all consoles and Google Stadia is Cris Tales, maybe the most stylishly animated JRPG I've ever seen. I seriously can't get enough of watching this trailer with its perfect hand-drawn art. As a love letter to classic RPGs like Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy, you'll follow the time mage Crisbel and her friends as they journey together across 4 kingdoms to stop the evil Time Empress from changing the future of the world. Using a party system, you'll meet other characters and team up with them while learning their stories and growing together along your travels. And with a creative spin on classic time travel RPGs, you'll be able to see all 3 worlds simultaneously on screen. Past, present, and future. It's kind of mind-blowing to me, and I can't wait to see how it looks. And the music, don't even get me started. I can already tell that this is going to be a soundtrack I listen to over and over again once I finish the game, and some of my favorite moments will just come flooding right back. I know I'm just gushing at this point, but I have been eagerly awaiting Cris Tales all of this year, and I hope you guys are with me and looking forward to playing it soon. And slyly sneaking its way into my heart and the #1 spot on our top games coming up in 2021 is Backbone. Set in a dystopian Vancouver where apparently animals can walk, talk, and commit crimes, you play as Howard, a raccoon private investigator. As an upstanding PI, you'll work your connections with other mammal and rodent citizens and follow the trail of leads as you investigate whatever cases come your way, from marital infidelity to sex trafficking and murder, and that's just what's available in the prologue, which is still playable on Steam by the way. I'll leave the link down below in the description. The writing and conversations in the prologue are just brilliant, and it's consistent with the witty memes and humor we see on the developer's Twitter page, so I'm sure we have a lot to look forward to in that regard. Back to our raccoon friend, as a sneaky sleuth, you'll also need to utilize your stealth skills to get out of or into some hairy situations, and all of this goodness is backed with a perfect jazz soundtrack, complete with vocals when the mood is right. We can all look forward to playing this as it's coming to PC, Mac, Linux, and all consoles sometime in the near future. And that's going to do it for our top indie games coming up in 2021. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be sure to catch more indie game countdowns and reviews. Let me know in the comments below if you think I missed any games which should have been in the top 10, and tell me which indie games you're looking forward to playing in the coming year. Thank you very much to my 68 subscribers for all your support and kind comments this year, and I look forward to getting to know more of you soon. For more top indie game countdowns and reviews, check out the videos on your screen now, and I'll see you on the other side.